Hello friends, it's Dave here from SaveDex,
And I'm Sophie.
and today we're bringing you a review of Stitchy in Tooki Trouble for the Nintendo Switch. A review code was provided to us by Polygoat Studio, so thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much, guys.
Very, very kind of you. So let's bring you our thoughts on this. So our first impressions of this game, we noticed it a few weeks ago on the eShop, coming soon, and you know what game it reminded us of?
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong Country, yes. And, you know, Nintendo don't want to bring us a new Donkey Kong game anytime soon, it seems. So an indie developer has taken it in their stride and brought us one.
Amazing.
And fantastic to see. Now, people are might say it's a copy of Donkey Kong, and I'm like, well, we're not getting Donkey Kong, so I'll take games that are similar to it, definitely.
I feel that.
So anyway, so let's go into what this game is and go into the story of it. So what is the story of this game?
So basically, you're a scarecrow. These little mobbling type things called Tookis,
Yeah.
they steal your corn and you go after them.
That's
Basically.
pretty much, because Stitchy, I'm guessing, is the scarecrow you play as. And you go around collecting the corn, and the story is mostly told contextually, but I'll go in a little bit more into that later. When you get to the last levels, you sort of see what they're using the corn for, and I kind of found that funny.
Yeah, that was funny. I enjoyed that.
It's quite simple, but straightforward. But
It's like a visual pun.
Yeah, it's all you need for a game like this, and it works really well.
Yeah.
So let's go into the gameplay itself then. So this is a 2D platformer. You basically go from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. It's nice and simple. And on the levels you have collectibles. So you've got the corn, which is what you're collecting. It's basically like the bananas in Donkey Kong. You collect them, they shoot up to the corner in that satisfying way.
Well, they are yellow.
They're true, just like the bananas. So you collect 100 of them, you get an extra life.
Lovely.
There are checkpoints in the levels as well. We also get 3 main collectibles in each level. What are they?
They're totem poles.
Totem poles, and they're basically the Kong letters of this.
Nice.
What you do in this one is, it's basically each world has 10 levels, the 10th one being the boss fights. If you collect all 3 totem pole pieces in all 9 of the levels before the boss fight, you unlock a super secret 11th world.
Ooh.
Now, I know you didn't play enough to get to these levels themselves.
Yeah, but you did.
You played this more casually than I did.
Yes.
So basically, control-wise, how did this control for you?
Basically, I found the controls quite responsive. I would say that the jump is quite floaty, but I think that works well with the platforming part of it.
Considering he's a scarecrow, he's going to be pretty light, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So... the one thing that I would say is that it was kind of slow, the speed of the running. I would have liked it to be a little bit more faster.
Definitely. That was really sort of the main thing. I would have liked it to have been a bit faster, as especially with the Donkey Kong style gameplay, is Donkey Kong is a fast game.
Yeah.
And especially when something else I'm going to mention later I would have liked it to have been faster. So yeah, it's the controls. There's only 2 buttons you use. A is to jump and double jump.
Yeah.
And B, when you're in the air, is to do a ground pound. There's no on the floor attack or anything. You defeat enemies just by jumping on them.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. Very, very light puzzles. Sometimes there's a hidden totem pole below something and you have to smash through to it, but nothing too strenuous. It does feel like a beginner's platformer.
I was thinking that. I was thinking it was more focused towards younger players.
Yes.
It does say on the blurb that it makes the game an all ages platforming delight, but I'd say it's more with the speed and the challenge. I'd say it's probably more younger audiences.
I think sometimes when they say all ages, it just means it's appropriate for all ages, which
absolutely agree.
Yeah, but I feel like it is targeted towards younger.
Yeah, and thinking about it, this is a great game for our nephews and niece to sort of segue into harder games as they get older, the ones that we like.
Yeah, it's kind of what I would say about Roodle Tree Adventures and that 3D platformers one. I'd say it's a beginner's platformer. It's a stepping stone into that genre, and
it's a gateway game.
Yeah, it feels like this is the type of thing. So I mean, really, we'll talk a bit more about that later on, but let's go into the levels themselves. So you've got 3 worlds, as I mentioned earlier, each one with 10 levels, the 10th one being a boss world, and there's a secret 11th level in each one. The first level is a more tropical jungle / beach theme.
Yeah.
The second world is your snowy level.
That was my favourite one.
Yes.
I really, really liked that one.
Yes.
And it reminded me of Tropical Freeze as well.
Oh, definitely. There were moments that made me think that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the third world was a factory, lava-y, sort of industrial stage.
Yeah, and that just like reminded me of other games, but it did make me think of Ukulele when they're in the industrial
Capital
part.
B's,
Yeah, Capital B.
Yeah. So basically, when you get to level structure, kind of like Donkey Kong, I keep saying this, kind of like Donkey Kong, each level sort of has a gimmick that it runs with. Like there'll be one where the gimmick is swinging on a rope or chains in this case and things like that, and it runs with it and then holds it for that level, then moves on to the next one, making them unique. Although in this one, you'd have like one gimmick, then you'd have another gimmick, another level, then the next one would be a combination of both gimmicks. And it sort of go that it didn't really have a unique idea for every single level. So some of the levels did kind of blur into each other. But they were still fun to play, though.
Absolutely.
But one thing I really liked about this is when I say about how the story could be told contextually, is the 3 worlds all have a boss fight. And in the first world, the first boss, it's the only one I'll reveal, is a giant octopus. Sort of like a mechanical one, I think.
Mechapus.
Yes. In the level preceding that, the octopus is in that level and sort of attacking you with its tentacles from the background, and it's sort of like a hazard in that level, and then you go on to fight it in the next one. So they sort of build up to this boss fight in the previous level rather than you just randomly running into one, which made the bosses feel like part of the world.
I really liked that as well.
Sort of makes you feel more involved, makes it feel more like a living world, which I quite liked. So speaking of making it feel like a living world, really, let's talk about the graphics and sound now.
Yeah, the graphics, they just looked really nice and cartoony and shiny.
A lot of vibrant colours.
Yeah, and
definitely.
like I said, my favourite level was the snow level, and it just like was really bright and just it made me feel happy.
Yeah, there's nice stuff in the background.
And then music as well, especially for the snow level one. I just thought it just really suited and it was nice and spurred you on to carry on.
Although one thing that was a bit suspect, I thought, was on the title theme. I'll play the beginning of the title theme now. Did that sound familiar at all?
Did.
So talking about the performance as well, I thought it ran really well. I didn't really notice any lag or anything like that.
Yeah, I didn't notice any lag. I thought it just was going okay, really.
Although there were a few times in the snow level where I died a few times because I would just randomly stop for no reason.
Oh, you got stuck on one of the platforms.
Yeah, but it didn't seem consistent that I would get stuck on that one when other similar platforms I didn't get stuck on.
Maybe it was trying to spur you to take that above platform.
You get 3 hearts each time you get hit you lose a heart, and lose all 3 hearts you die. I didn't die until halfway through the second world, so I thought, is this game a bit too easy at first? But then I did die quite a lot of times after that, so it did get harder. That's the good news.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was interesting was you can collect hearts on the way by slamming into boxes that have the heart in. I collected a heart and I got hit at the same time, which killed me, but it counted the heart being collected at the same time, and I ended up losing 2 lives in one go because of it.
Yeah.
Which, that's not a big issue. I'm sure that will never happen to anyone, even if they're trying to do it in the past. But I just thought that was an interesting thing.
Yeah.
It's programmed that way. So overall, the difficulty is low, and sort of like you have your levels that seem similar to Donkey Kong. There's even minecart levels as well.
Yes.
Which
I love.
They're fun. Minecart levels are fun.
Everyone loves the minecart level.
So how much is this game then?
So this game is £11.69 normally, but there's a pre-order price, 25% off, so £8.76, and that goes on until the 18th of April 2021.
And you are looking at a 2.2 gigabyte download for that. So overall, what are we getting with this game? Well, the length of it, I beat this game in one sitting. I actually beat it in just under 2 hours.
Nice.
But there are other things to do. I didn't collect every totem pole and beat every bonus level. So I went back and did all that. 100%ed the game, and my overall playtime was 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Lovely.
So for that price, that's how much it took for me to 100% the game. So it is a short game, it is an easy game. Obviously younger, less experienced gamers will spend longer with this.
Yeah.
But there's also that time trial element to it.
Oh, yeah.
And you get given the target times, and you get given stars based on how quickly you beat the level, with 3 stars in each level. So, replay value.
Replayability.
And that's where my whole issue on it being slow comes into it, because if you're going to have these time trials, I'd like it to be fast so you feel like you're going for the time.
Yeah, definitely.
So what were your final thoughts on this, Sophie?
I thought this game was really sweet. I'd recommend it to my little nephews and niece, and then have it be like something that they play before I introduce them to Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I'd say for me, it's a bit too easy for my liking. It's a bit too slow to handle. But I think, visually and all that, it looks really nice. I like the character, I like the worlds, I like the levels, but I just wished it was a bit faster. And I wish there was a bit more challenge to it. So I'd say, if you're a younger, new gamer, then you'll probably get into this alright. But if you're like me, have a lot of experience with platformers, you'll beat this one really quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I probably will beat it quickly, but not as quick as you.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think I'm personally the target audience for this game, so I can't really fault it for being an easy game. Mm-hmm. Kirby games are easy, but that's the intention of them. Yeah. I'm just not the right audience for those sorts of games. I can beat Cuphead.
I love Kirby.
There you go. So this is a Sophie game more than a Dave game, I'd say. So that's what we think of the game. What do you guys think of it? Let us know in those comments down below. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe for more videos like this to come in the future. And thank you so much for watching. So see you in the next one.
Goodbye.